So, still on section 2, subparagraph 6, isolating annual American economic benefits. The class of LIPDS, maximum annual gross. Number per class equals the maximum national gross. RIP A, 520,000 maximum national gross times 37,500 in that class equals 19,500 million. Are we making some money here, people, for America? Are we making some big money in other nations? Some of you guys have some real quasi-prostitution laws. Don't ask, don't tell, look the other way. Nations, this is your chance to bum rush that situation. Go in there and make some money for yourself. Don't tell me about how your infrastructure's messed up because you got some crooked cops over there in the Eastern Bloc. Put them crooked cops right and have them bring that money into the people. For the people. The people don't mind laying down and having fun and making money all at the same time. So RIP B, 260,000 times 150,000 in the class comes to 39 billion. RIP C, 260,000 times 187,500 comes to 48.75 billion maximum national gross from that class. RIPD, that's the one with the big D on it. A, 780,000 times 12,500. Think how small that number is in comparison to 300 million Americans. So 780,000 times the 12,500 brings in another 9,750,000,000. The B class, RIPD B, 520,000 times 50,000 in the class comes in at $26 billion annually. C, 390,000 times 62,500 of the class. The maximum national annual benefit, or you can look at it as the minimum, the gross benefit just for the RIPs and RIPs, is $167,375,000,000. Now that's based on 500,000. If we were just to double this and bring it back up to the million, we're talking 334,750,000,000 annually. You think about that. 10 years from there, that's 3.34 trillion. Going on 3.35. Okay, so we take the 167 billion. 375 million, and because we know that with that kind of money, there's some people going on vacation. They're not working full time. They're working 3/4 of the time, and we sense there'll be some sandbag in there, you know. So this is a big sandbag. We're going to take off another 25%. And folks, earlier when I was talking about divide it by 0.375, now that we've taken off that other 25%, those numbers are correct. So we're bringing it clear down to 125 billion annually. 125,531,250,000 of a semi-max national annual benefit on what's called pie number 10, or the LIPDS, projected annual revenues. LIPDS being licensed incognito prostitution services. This is the money made off the services themselves. Once again, really about 37.5% of another lowball number. So we got it way down there. Minimum 125 billion annually. 10 years, that's 1.2 trillion. There's your health care package. Hello? So the real big question really here isn't can we get prostitutes to do the dirty. The question is how many tricks do we need? Only working 75% of the year. Now follow this. This little star stands for numbers per class. This one is hours, maximum hours per year. Monthly total annual hours right here. Minus the 25% from that. Can you dig that? Take it out more. Take it out even more. Equals a reasonable total of annual hours. Okay. That's that vacation we're talking about there. So a RIP day, 37,500 times the 520 hours annually are allowed to work at 10 hours a week, comes to 19,500,000 hours. Minus those numbers, we got 14,625,000 reasonable total hours these people are going to work. This is important. This is going to go into another table, and I know it gets a little complicated for a moment, but you just got to bear with it. Hit pause if you have to, freeze frame, whatever. and figure it out. B, 150,000 times 1,040 hours equals 156 million hours annually. 25% of that is 117 million hours annually for the RIP Class B. RIP Class C is 187,500 numbers per class times the 2,600 annual hours each one is allowed to work equals 487,500,000 hours. 25% less is 365,625,000. RIP DA, 12,500 times the 520 hours they're allowed to work annually comes to 6,500,000 maximum they're totally allowed to work annually. 25% out leaves 4,875,000 hours annually. This is everybody, you know. B, look at all those man hours, by the way. Look at all those man hours. We're putting people to work, and you know what, government? It's taxable to a degree. Okay, B, 50,000 times 1,040 hours is 52 million hours. 75% of that is 39 million. 39 million more hours. Class RIPD DC, 62,500 times the 2,600 annual each is allowed to work comes to 162,500,000 aggregate monthly total hours annually allowed to work, or maximum total hours annually allowed to work, brings that into 121,875,000 hours. I haven't even added that up, but I'm just real curious at all of a sudden to how many hours we're putting people to work here. And we haven't even gotten into the staff that has to watch them and everything else. We're creating jobs, people, and those jobs aren't even in the numbers I was posting in all my previews. Now, on the admitted assumption that each trick is only going to show up, we're trying to find the number of tricks we need here, that each trick is only going to show up twice a month, which isn't necessarily so. You know, this isn't broken down like I did the mama, because I don't know the flesh business, but I do know that some will probably go more than twice a month and others will never go, huh? So on the assumption that they're going to go twice a month in search of how many tricks do we need, we take the class of RIPs times the reasonable total hours they're going to work annually, and then at twice a month, we divide it by 24, which equals the total tricks and or tricks needed. 24 because that's hours per year that they're actually as a trick going to go in there. So RIP A, 14,625,000 hours divided by that 24 comes to 609,375. RIP B, 117 million comes down to 4,875,000. RIP C, 365,625,000 comes down to 15,234,375. And we are counting numbers on this one because we're already lowballed way down there. RIPD A, 4,875,000 comes down to 203,125. RIP B, 39 million comes down to 1,625,000. RIP C, 120,875,000 comes down to 5,078,125. So the totals here, we got reasonable total hours worked annually, 663 million, over 500 million hours put in annually. If each trick is going twice a month, we're going to need 27,625,000 total tricks and or tricks needed.